All right, take two. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Spirit Tower. How y'all doing out there, Spirit Tower? We get an opportunity to introduce Oboe Martin, who's been traveling all over the world performing in storytelling festivals, lived in Ireland, where he also comes from a long line of storytellers. He's going to bring some incredible music storytelling to us today. He's 100% Irish, 100% awesome, and 100% oboe. Please welcome Oboe Martin.
Well, the story you're about to hear, well, it happened to me just this year as I was rolling through the Czech Republic. I was traveling, I was wandering through the woods when the rain came lashing down. Now I don't mind a little rain until the lightning did the same and the wind started blowing me around. And when I knew I was in trouble, I made a beeline on the double to an old youth hostel rundown. There was a lady at the desk. She wore a black lace dress. She must have been about 100 years old. She said, this house, it ain't got no room. She said, this house ain't got no room. She said, this house, it ain't got no room. She said, this house ain't got no room. She said, it's looked up and booked up and shacked up and shook up and it's bagged down and full to the brim. She said, it's looked up and it's booked up and it's shacked up and it's shook up and she can't let anybody in. And I said, lady, listen, lady, there's a storm outside and it's the kind that you don't survive. She said, there's 33 Australians and 66 Canadians. There are 28 Norwegians, 9 Japanese. She said, there's 4 Czechs and Slovakians and there's 13 Americans. There are 15 Italians. And only half of them have beds. She said there's Danish in the dining room and there's Swedish in the cellar. Boy Scouts in the bathroom and there's Irish in the house. She said there's Polish in the pantry. Now all the kids are in the kitchen. Not to mention all the people that she's missing. I said, lady, listen, lady, there's a storm outside. And if I walk out that door, you'll be the last one to see me alive. Well, there is one place, said the host, but it's haunted by a ghost. There is one place, but it's haunted by a ghost. Then she lit the candle and she led the way past the spiders up the stairs. She pointed to the attic and then she ran away. And with only a candle, I mustered up my mind. I said, it's gonna be a crazy night. I was lying there playing dead. I was covering my head when the blankets went flying off my bed. Oh no, no, there were flashes of light. There were screams in the night. And there were ghouls and ghosts of all sorts. Now I was doing all right until I saw the devil and then I wet my shorts. All the demons danced away to the fiddle he did play, and he let out a terrible laugh. He said, we're gonna play a game, because boy, I know your name, and I know that you're horrible at math. Well, I got down on my knees, I was praying for the grace, when the devil took his red hand and slapped me across the face. He said, now listen what I'm saying. There ain't gonna be no praying while you're playing my mathematical quiz. This is the first question of 3 that you're gonna have to answer me. And if you get it right, you're free to leave. But if you fail, you'll be stuck here like a jail. And you'll never ever get any sleep. I said, go ahead, fire away. He said, I do that every day. And you will only have 3 seconds to answer me. He said, what's 3 sixes times 3 if you take away the 9s with the demonic denominator and brackets on the line? He says, subtract it, fraction it, don't forget to multiply. Then he looked at me and counted 1, 2, 3. He was hooting and hollering. He clicked his hoof heels on the floor. Said, now, that's what your algebra was for. Then he started in on his spell to send me to hell. When I heard the crashing of bricks, I come smashing through that wall. Was that little old lady with a black dress on, waving her hazel wand stick. And her daughter were spraying Mount Shasta water, and the devil was a-squirming at my feet. She said there's one thing I'd have to say to drive them all away, and she told me that I knew what it was. Well, half paralyzed, I stared the devil in his beady eyes, and I screamed it from the top of my lungs. I said this house, it ain't got no room. I said this house ain't got no room. We sing that again. I said this house, it ain't got no room. I said this house ain't got no room. And to this day, I can gladly say that the devil, he don't live here anymore. Cedar, are you around? This is Cedar Hennings.
It always helps to turn the amplifier on.
Well, this one's about a pig and a pony. Well, Piggy and Pony, they've been homies ever since they were small. They the best of barnyard cronies, thick and thin, they've been through it all. Well, Piggy got his squeaky little songs he likes to sing, while Pony does the cha-cha, does the foxtrot and Arabian swing. Took her to the county fair and everybody's surprised. Well, their little song and dance came home with the blue ribbon prize. Oh my, my. Piggy and Pony, Piggy and Pony. They the best of friends and barnyard cronies. Piggy and Pony, Piggy and Pony.
Piggy and Pony.
They the best of friends and old school homies. Now Piggy got a squiggly little tail and a southern drawl. He's a wonky little boinky kinky piggy from them Kickling Falls. They were over in the clover, rolling in the mushrooms of the straw, when the farmer caught him cuddling and he put them both in separate stalls. Oh no, no. Now there's a pony and he's lonely, because he's missing his piggy buddy. Now there's a pony and he's lonely, because he's missing his piggy buddy. Yeah, but Piggy found a twiggy and he figured how to piggy the lock. And with the wiggle and the gallop they sauntered down to Hickory Dock. And the gossip made the papers, the headlines was right at the top. The whole farm in alarm said the skipping and the hopping gotta stop. And the pastor said the pasture ain't no place for this kind of bromance. And he said he'd gon' castrate if they didn't in their song and dance. Now they running from the law, the press, and they be pressing their chance. Two bucolic convicts on a frolic, all the bollards of them, they be out on the land. Piggy and Pony, Piggy and Pony, Piggy and Pony. They the best of friends and barnyard cronies. Piggy and Pony, Piggy and Pony, come on, Piggy and Pony. They the best of friends and old school homies. ship that took me over, it sailed the 7 seas, but it sunk like a stone on the night it carried me. Well, I splashed and I kicked, but the waves came tumbling smack. When I woke up in the morning, I was flat out on my back. Oh my Lord, I was so tired, I was too weak to turn my head. And if the ocean had not spit me out, I'm sure I would be dead. I was stumbling on the beach with a one-eyed blurry stare. Well, the sharks had eaten all of my clothes. There were holes in my underwear. There were crabs along the sand. They were snapping at my feet. There were monkeys in the trees, and they could tell that I was beat. Well, I finally made my way to a wet waterfall, where a tribe of long-haired girls, they were standing about 7 feet tall. And they tied me up, and they tickled me, and they took me to their queen. She was a lovely, lovely lady. She'd been bathing in a stream. Said it's been a long, long time since we seen ourselves a boy. All the ladies all went there dancing with joy. Said there's one thing you'll have to do for us many times if you can. With that look upon her face, like she firmly clapped her hand, she said, we've saved the fattest duck, son. Looks like you're the lucky one. All these girls wanted me to do was play them a song. Oh, my guitar washed up on the shore, so I sang beneath the stars. They were crazy about music. They had built a bamboo stage. They were screaming at my feet. Oh, sure, I was an instant sage, and I sang fight dee 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 dee. Sang fight dee 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 dee, and I sang fight dee 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 dee. I sang fick a dack a diddle day for diddle 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 day. Well, I sang folk songs, I sang rock and roll, sang Dixie, I sang swing. I sang till I fell over, and they made me their king. Anybody ever tells you they don't like you for some unique attribute that you may feature, something that makes you different, you can tell them that advance comes through mutation and that nature favors the bold. I love your scars in all your imperfections. Make you who you are. They show that you've lived through something. Your lazy eye really turns me on. Not the reason why I love you, darling, for just the way you are, just the way you are. Just the way you are, just the way you are, just the way you are. It makes me want to kiss you, and I would miss the bliss of listening to you. Your red birthmark has got a place in my heart, and I would go as far as to say I love you, darling, for just the way you, just the way you are, just the way you are. are, just the way you are,
Just the way you are.
just the way you are, just the way you are, just the way you are. You taught me to see things without my eyes, showed me how to feel what's real on the inside. So raise up your freak flag, make it stand tall and boast. You're my little me too. I love you the most. Don't ever change. We like you strange. Don't ever change. We like you strange. Oh, just the way you, just the way you are.
Just the way you are.
Oh, just the way you are.
Just the way you
Oh,
are.
just the way you are.
Just the way you are.
Oh, just the way you are. Just the way you are. Well, I came home from school one day and I was crying because I was getting teased that I had freckles. And there's nothing I could do about it. My mom and my sister were there and they said, "Don't you know why you have freckles? Everybody knows that." And I said, "You're just trying to trick me." And they said, "No, I'll tell you." They said before you were born, you were standing with a bunch of angels, and the angels were showing you what you were going to do with your life. And you kept saying, "That's too easy, make it harder." And I thought, maybe that kind of sounds like me. And then the angels were so proud of you that as you left on your mission, they lined the gates, and they kissed you all over. Those aren't freckles, boy, those are angel kisses. That's why there's no freckles on your bum. So the angels wouldn't be kissing your ass now, would they? We all love you and we want you to remember why we sent you. This'll be your finest mission. Come back with the same conviction that you're showing as you're leaving. You will be born this evening, it's your promise. We believe in. Go now and do your retrieving. I will not ever forget. I will not. What was it that we said? My friend Anna, she had this one pointy ear. And her dad told her the same thing that my mama told me. He said, Anna, we weren't going to tell you till you're older, but the truth is, you're half fairy. And if you don't believe us, write a letter and put it in your dollhouse. And so she did. She asked the fairies how to make a fairy dress. And in the morning when she woke up, her dollhouse was covered in glitter. She said, Daddy, they carried the glitter. Remember that you chose your family and all the things that happened madly, all the trials, tribulations, all the joys, all occasions, all your teachers, all your muggers, all your parties, all your gutters, all the things that make you happy, all the things that wound up happening, all the hurt and all the glory, all the twists in the story, all your bliss and all your heartache and all the things you did by mistake. I will not ever forget. I will not. What was it that we said? Me and my girlfriend were living in Hawaii. We've been doing some seasonal work in Northern California. You know, picking apples. At least that's what we told our parents anyways. And every time we saw an orchard with a ladder, we'd jump up there, take a couple of photos and send them home. Things are great on the farm. We were rich, man. We had like $3,000 each. We never had that kind of money. So we went to Hawaii. We heard you could live on the beach and eat fruit off the trees. It sounded like a good idea to us. And it was paradise out there, and there was a few bohemian type people, very similar to what we were doing the same thing. We all became friends. Staring at the big full moons and running around on the beaches at night, just us out there. It was amazing. And some of our friends, they got picked up to work on an organic farm and they got their own cabins. Now that's every hippie's dream, right? We were so happy for them. They were going to get married that weekend. She was 7 months pregnant, so we were picking out a dress, and in the middle of the night, a dam broke. And a wall of water came running down the hill. I think it was like 70 feet tall, and took out all the trees in the hillside. Took out the roads. Took everything in its path out to the ocean, including my friends and their cabins. We all love you and we want you to remember why we sent you. This'll be your finest mission. Come back with the same conviction that you're showing as you leaving. You will be born this evening, it's your promise. We believe in. Go now and do your retreating. I will not ever forget. I will not. Oh, was it that we said? hands, kind of condoling each other for the loss that we experienced with our friends. We were gathered at the meadow where our friends were going to get married that day, and it was 6 o'clock. It was the moment when they were going to exchange their vows. And we looked up in the sky, and we saw a pink rainbow. It was like they were getting married up in the sky. Remember that you chose your family and all the things that happen madly, all your trials and tribulations, all your joys, all occasions, all your teachers, all your muggers, all your parties, all your gutters, all the things that make you happy and all the things that wound up happening, all the hurt and all the glory, all the twists in the story, all your bliss and all your heartache and all the things you did by mistake. I will never forget. I will not. Was it that we said? I went out to the briar. I was fetching for the fire. But there was not a dry twig in the grove. The pickings were dire, but there were plenty of spiders, where my face caught the first of their wool. And not a stick in the thicket would stand for me break it, nor budge would a branch from the tree. Well, either I couldn't, or the wood it just wouldn't, but there was aught not but kindling for me. The moon it was beaming, down on the glen gleaming. Such a sight was the night that I blessed myself kneeling. And there on the ground, as my eyes looked down, were 2 pairs of boots by the Babel Brook sound. Whose boots could be as dainty as thee? What cobbler could such craft? For not a baby yet born could have weared in such worn as boots have seen down path. The beard on my chin got a fair scratching, and so did the top of my head. Not a drop had I sunk, but thinking I thunk, you're drunk, boy, you best go to bed. But then with me eyes in squint, I caught a glimpse. 'Twas not elf, not nymph, not gnome, not fairy goblin that broke on, but a wee one all of its own. And with pipe in hand, next to it did stand another of the same, and took puffs of smoke, a spell was spoke, and gathered clouds of rain. And I could not for the life of me see the hand out in front of my face, but there was no doubt that it was them let out, the haze about the place. And as thick as stew, a foggy hue grew in and clung dewdrops. But I heard the sound upon the ground, the walk of sucky socks. And on my mother's grave what I heard there, and sure, why would I lie? 'Twas a whispering between 2 beings, the likes would boggle your mind. And what happened next? Well, it's so perplexed that scarce I can describe. An orb of light drift through the night, and it was not but a ball in size, and changing colors from one to another, first slow and then to fast. The pattern it sped, and it dazzled me head, and it laid me in the grass. And I felt as if I was at sea adrift, swept down by the current, and I dreamt the ship did rise and dip, my stomach could hardly bear it. And the speed at which the scenes did switch on the backlids of my eyes, well, it would cause me to twitch and quake a bit with a quivering down my spine. And then there she was, alive as day, the young fair naval bride, Oh, what a gorgeous ghost. Like I've remembered her most. And she was saying, "Oh, Penny, quit your crying." I threw my arms around the girl saying, "Darling, have I died?" She said, "No, me love, we're up above and sure I don't die always by your side. But you've work to do before you join this crew. But I know you've got the knack." And she said, "Come on, let me give you a head. I'll bring you back." And fastened to a beam of light, I struck like a shooting star. Like a wave being pummeled, I tumbled through the tunnels, and I was washed upon the shore. And the time I was gone, it seemed ages long, but not but a moment at best. And as if nothing had happened but a few knots napping, I was laying there in the grass. And with their boots all laced, they danced in me face, and they left me lying there. With visions of my darling love, I climbed the cottage stairs. And at my cottage door, when I got back, 'twas a knee-high hawthorn stack of wood. Well, already I was warmed. Okay.
More.
Let's do some more stories. I guess we got a little bit. 7 minutes, you said? 5 minutes? Okay.
6. No negotiation 4 now.
On a mountain top up high the slope, lived the little wee one known as the gnome. He'd a garden grove of magic plants, and when he ate them he began to dance, jumping up and down the lunatic when the moon rose up above the peak. In the woodland valley down below, running naked he would often go for a bathing neath the waterfall. It was amazing, crystal clear and all. And on occasion he would even dare rub the clay up all into his hair and cover up with moss and twigs and leaves to adventure lands without the trees. For he knew that best he not be seen, and so he blended well into the green. He was a keeper of a knowledge long forgot, often mixing herbs into a pot to celebrate and elevate his state and give praises to the Maker great. Yet a language only those have known, who've been places gated now with stone. And to the entrance on the equinox, he would wave his hand and move the rocks to a cavern tunneled in the ground. It was adorned with treasures all around, through a labyrinth of he knew the ways, where just a moment seemed to last for days, until he came upon the wishing well, author and the mother and speaking the magic spell. He took a bucket and he lowered himself inside to a railroad car of which he ride. He was blazing sparks beneath the wheels, listening for the sounds of airs and jakes and wheels. And when he heard the fiddle, he would pull the middle brake, screech around the corner and jump off at the lake. He was greeted well for his return, for they knew right well what he had learned. There were many there in number, even more than had before, all the creatures of the keepers of all the sacred doors, congregating for the mighty shift, raising the vibration of creation to bring the lift. Now you know, gnome, here inside the dome, you are always more than welcome home. For your ancestry was etched in cliff, and we know that you were born with gift. But to break the rock of the mistakes is gonna take a mighty mind earthquake. If you make it all the way across, sing the praises, hop across the rocks, and tie a rope there where your hand may hold, as an anchor for the ones as bold, who adventure out upon their own, through the realms and realms of the unknown. That's all for today. I'll be here again tomorrow at noon.
Bravo!
Thank you.